This week's episode, we're going to talk about traveling. Tips for going to your next show, whether you're flying, driving, whether it's an overnight trip, a weekend getaway. But started here at the airport, flying home from Florida. Was down there for World's Strongest Man this year, so we got some tips. Actually, one of the athletes lost some of his luggage, so I'm going to give you some really important stuff on if you're flying with your gear, how to make sure it gets there for you. So stay tuned for some tips on traveling. To your next show. All right, we're back again. We're down to 1 week to Dubreuilville, loading the truck up. This week we're going to talk a little bit about travel. I'm going to break it down to 3 steps for you. It's going to be local, national, and international. Little tips on traveling to your next show. All right, so no matter where you're traveling, what kind of show you're doing, the best investment right here. You need somewhere to sit. If you're competing in a gym, you're gonna be sitting on plates, you're gonna be sitting on benches, sitting on your cooler. We bought these chairs a couple of years ago, take them to every show. I'm always comfortable. So that's your first bit of advice, buy a good chair. The second thing, you need a cooler. You're gonna have drinks and stuff like that. A good cooler with wheels on and a handle, much better than carrying a cooler into your show. So get yourself a chair, get yourself a cooler. All right, first thing is we're talking about local shows. That's going to be your, I refer to them as your house shows technically. Ones you can travel to within a day, you don't need to spend the night for. What I say for those is take everything you have. You're going to load it in your car or your truck. Take extra shoes, take extra straps and wraps, your knee sleeves. If you have 2 belts, take 2 belts. You're not going far. The room isn't an issue. Take everything you have to the show. You never know when something might break, when your fellow competitors might need something. So everything you have, take it to the show. Even if you don't use it, no big deal to bring it back home. We've talked about chairs, we've talked about coolers, 2 very important things I think you need to have. Always make sure you have your own chalk, your own ammonia inhalants, whatever you use. Sometimes they have stuff there for you. I've been to shows and there's been no chalk, and I've been to shows and they've had chalk. Same with tacky and tacky removal. Always have your own. Don't rely on somebody else to give you this stuff. But like your local shows are going to be your close ones that you can do to in a day. So those are your easiest to plan for. Throw the stuff in your bag overnight. Take it with you to the show, and you'll have everything you need. All right, so we talk about national show or local shows. Let's talk about national shows. I prefer these are your USS Strongman Corp Nationals shows that you need to travel to. They're out of state, so you need to think a little bit about what you're taking. If you're driving, to me, same rules still apply. Take everything you have. You more than likely have 1 gym bag. It doesn't hurt to take extra stuff. Often I'll have it in my room, and one of my rituals is the night before I throw all my stuff out and situate what I need, what I don't need, what I might want to take with me. Some stuff stays in the hotel. More than likely it's going to be in my truck at the event, just in case you need it. You never know what you're going to get into, what you might need. But that's going to be like your national shows. You are going to travel a little bit, so space might be limited. I always pack enough clothes and pack enough stuff like that. But when you travel, you need to think about time and space. You can still take most of your stuff. You can still take your chairs. You can still take your coolers. Take all your gear. If you're flying, what some people do to the national shows, because if they're on the East-West Coast, that comes into what I'm going to talk to you now about international shows is what I refer to them. But yeah, nationally, still take everything you need. You're going to use it on that day. All right, so now we're going to talk about your international shows. This is the higher level shows. You're traveling, maybe out of the country for it. Like we're going to Canada. We are driving, but it's still an international show. First thing is when you fly, chair goes out the window. We can't take our chairs. I'm really bummed about not taking my chair to Florida with me. Not taking my cooler. Now that we're going to fly, the whole taking everything you own, you can't do that no more. So you need to really hunt out what you need. If you need it, take it. I still recommend taking a backup. One of the key things to flying, I said I'll be flying to Florida here in a few months for Worlds, is take your stuff on your carry-on with you. The last thing you need to do is show up in another country, another state for your event, and your bag got lost and there's all your gear. So put your gear in your travel on. If they lose your underwear, they lose your toothbrush, and you can get more of them. But you're not replacing your belt or your knee sleeves or your shoes the day of the competition. So if you're flying, take that stuff with you. Another thing you need to watch a fly, hasn't happened to me yet, but I've heard other people, chalk. We all have chalk. the TSA, they may question it, which that's for. So I would check your chalk. Don't put your chalk, even I heard chalk residue sometimes, it might hit something where they're going to look at it and question it and stuff like that. So just think, I mean, most of us have flown before. Don't give them any reason to go through your bags and tear stuff apart. Clean your stuff off, make sure it's clean of chalk, make sure it's any, stuff like that. Check that stuff that you can get, but make sure you travel with what you need. Alright, so just sitting outside with my Totally Bear here. A couple other pointers for when it comes to traveling, as we're getting ready to pack for Dubreuilville now. I try to get there a day early. A lot of times depending on weigh-ins. Weigh-ins will be 24 hours before, the night before. So obviously you're making weight, you want to weigh in as soon as possible so you can put that weight back on, get rehydrated and stuff like that. Even if you're not trying to make weight, I'm heavyweight, so I never have to worry about that. I still like to travel, get there the day before, get a chance to relax. Maybe, some guys go, they'll sightsee a little bit, but my routine is I get there, I get checked in, I spend time in a hotel, have a good dinner. I know some people get in the morning of, weigh in the morning of and compete. That's fine for local shows. But when you're dealing with, like you were talking about international, national shows, bigger shows, give yourself every opportunity to compete and do well. And like I say, get there plenty of time before. Obviously, if your job, if money comes into play, but get there, give yourself time to get rested up, and then be able to compete at your best on day of. So, just one more tip for you. So another last minute tip too on traveling is staying hydrated and staying fed. Obviously, if you're cutting, you got to watch your stuff on that. But when you're traveling, like, have plenty of food. Take snacks. If you're driving, take snacks with you. If you're flying, make sure you eat. I know it's hard sometimes when you're traveling. I know. I mean, I live on the road with work. It's hard to actually eat what you're supposed to eat. But like, don't forget to eat while you're traveling. That's one of the big keys. Stay hydrated. Whether it's water, whether it's Gatorade, Pedialyte, whatever you do. If you go take more breaks to get there, stop and eat. But don't starve yourself the day before traveling. Obviously, if you're cutting, you're watching your weight. I can't give advice on that because that's not something I do, and you know how to do that. But other than that, like I said, just make sure you're eating and you're drinking on your way to your competition, so when you're there, you're ready to go. So like I said, we did a little 12 weeks of Dubreuilville here. Just wanted to thank all my sponsors, mostly Hossware. They're the first ones that got hooked up with me here and got me started. Jake and Ross, awesome guys. They're going to be in Florida at Worlds, official Strongman games. So definitely look for them, talk to them if you guys are going to be there. I'll be doing some videos with them. They're doing videos in the future, so hopefully we can collaborate a little more. Once they get the truck loaded, getting everything ready, it's almost time to drive to Canada. Alright, so that was this week's episode. Like I said, talking about traveling, locally, international, national travel. Just outside in the yard today. I said I'm about a week from Dubreuilville now. So I got one more trip for work, and then it's going to be get home and getting packed and all our stuff organized. Didn't get a chance to go to the gym today. Our walkthrough's done, all our prep's done. There's not much more we can do in the gym. Like I said, the last episode, it comes a mental game. But get in the habit, everybody has little rituals when you're traveling and when you're packing your stuff. You'll find what works best for you, and it makes everything all easier. Everything's all planned out and you have it all set up for your travel. So that was this week's episode. Like I said, 1 week down to Dubreuilville. Outside enjoying the nice day. I got the cornfield from my neighbor back here. Like I said, we're going to do some video next week in Dubreuilville, so look for that eventually. But like I said, thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for liking and subscribing. Look for some new videos after this is done. But like I said, thank you very much. We appreciate a little bit of help we get by following. So, like I said, 1 week to Dubreuilville. There we go. Godzilla out.